It's absolutely astonishing to me the amount of times that they've tried to adapt Resident Evil and failed miserably. Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Here's what I don't understand about companies trying to tell stories in already established video game worlds. And this goes for adaptations outside of the video game world as well. It even applies to comics. But in video game adaptations specifically, it always feels like they're kind of overthinking it, while also not thinking enough when they're actually writing it. Too often, people try to take video game stories and get too cute with them. And they typically alter them so much that they cease to feel like the game world that they are adapting. It's happened with almost every video game adaptation in recent memory, and that's why they typically fail.
That makes sense.
And it appears to have happened again here with the Resident Evil Netflix series. I came across this tweet from Sydney Watson who summed up my feelings pretty accurately. She said, quote, "It's really remarkable how Netflix is single-handedly screwing up series, films, adaptations based on storylines that already exist. How do you screw it up this much when you don't even have to create anything new? And yes, the new Resident Evil series is unwatchable."
That's right, it stinks!
That's how uncreative Hollywood and these streaming giants have become. A Resident Evil series should be a slam dunk. It should be a home run. Just take what you see, that being an already highly cinematic storyline, and translate that to live action. That's it. Of course, you can take liberties and make tweaks here and there, because nobody wants a shot-for-shot remake of a game. But what we do want is for you at the very least to stay true to the essence of the game. It should still look, feel, and sound like something that belongs in the Resident Evil world. This series, or at least the first 2 episodes, because that's as far as I've made it, has 100% failed to do that.
Nobody cares.
So I ask the question again, if you aren't going to even bother to adapt these video games faithfully, then why not just create a whole new show around an evil corporation and some zombies? And just leave the Resident Evil name off of it. That way you will avoid these comparisons. That's why I believe that this series is Resident Evil in name only. There is absolutely nothing in this show that resembles its video game counterpart whatsoever.
We ain't found shit.
Sure, there's recognizable names like Wesker or Umbrella, so I guess the people creating it thought that those names would be enough. As long as we have an evil corporation covering shit up and doing viral experiments in a secret lab, people won't realize that this resembles Resident Evil in absolutely no way. What does that say about how they view their audience? Oh, I'm sorry, there is a poorly constructed CGI zombie dog. We all remember those, right? See, they care, they know what they're doing.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
They actually have no idea what they're doing. And I wouldn't be surprised that if the person who wrote this never actually played a Resident Evil game in their fucking life. The story for this series jumps back and forth between pre-outbreak and post-outbreak. And we follow the character of Jade, who is Wesker's daughter, in both timelines. I'm not really sure which version of Jade is more annoying or more poorly constructed. You got young angsty Jade, who needs to be put up for adoption immediately.
But you one crazy ass bitch!
And she spouts off such edgy pieces of dialogue such as, "I watch Zootopia porn," or how she's going to be really good at shooting up heroin one day, all to just get a rise out of her father who works too much. Boo fucking who. And then we have grown Jade, who is observing zombies in the apocalypse. And honestly, she feels like the second coming of Reva. She even has a similar hairdo.
What the hell am I looking at?
She's one of those characters who tries to deliver lines like she's a badass, but she's completely unbelievable anytime she does it. And then we have Jade's sister, Billy, who is only in the pre-outbreak timeline, at least so far, who is a slightly less annoying vegan character who breaks into the Umbrella lab because she believes they are doing experiments on rabbits. This causes her to accidentally let out a zombified dog and she gets bit by it. And this could very well be the reason for the apocalypse. Well done, Billy.
Get what you fucking deserve!
Albert Wesker, played by Lance Reddick, is probably the one bright spot of this show, at least from a character acting perspective, although even he is not spared from delivering god-awful dialogue, such as telling a man who threatened to sue his daughter and have her arrested that once he's finished with him, he wants Pornhub to rip up his resume. Yes, this is a Resident Evil show, people. But that wasn't the end of it, because before the end of these 2 episodes, they had to make that comparison between the T-virus and COVID, of course. With Wesker reassuring his daughter that it's nothing like COVID. No shit, was that your attempt to modernize the Resident Evil franchise? Because if it was, you failed again. Resident Evil, of course, wouldn't be complete without zombies, and even they don't do their fucking job. I swear these zombies have some of the worst reaction times I think I've ever seen. Maybe this is part of the story moving forward, I don't know, they're a special kind of zombie. But you can quite literally have someone dive off a roof, land on a metal truck, hit the ground, grunt and groan for a few minutes, all surrounded by a pack of zombies, but they don't notice her until she gets up and starts to run.
Bullshit.
So if it isn't the cliche teen drama story that'll get you in the one timeline, it'll be the generic action movie bullshit in the other. I don't know who thought that this show would be a good idea or who greenlit this script, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that person should probably be fired. This show is unwatchable, and if I'm not rolling my eyes at the sheer stupidity of it, instead I was bored out of my fucking mind. Imagine making a Resident Evil story that's boring and completely devoid of tension or any kind of atmosphere. Or anything that resembles Resident Evil for that matter. Oh wait, that's right, Hollywood's been doing that for the past 20 years.
It's Hollywood, baby. Who knows what's gonna happen?
And just when you thought it couldn't get worse than last year's Welcome to Raccoon City debacle, someone at Netflix said, hold my T-virus. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, I would avoid this show at all costs because it clearly was not made for you. Surprise, surprise, the man baby has a problem with another strong female character. Don't you ever get tired of being misogynistic, you incel? Nobody cares about the nerds who play this game. They just care about representation. Yes, queen!
Y'all be cool. Right on.